All right. So basically working on persistent models. So what I want to do is actually move this into a different file. So this is in a file called models dot or models streamer persistent models. And so I think that we can just like bring that in with this share function. I have the documentation over here. So if we look for go, there's examples here. We can do it like this. So we have share, make persist SQL setting, persist SQL setting, and then down here we insert a splice that says persist file with. So one thing I don't understand is where is this thing looking? Workspace settings, and then the splice is like. See, the thing that I don't understand is it's models one. So where does this thing go? It takes a file path, but this thing doesn't end in. What is this thing? It's got to be okay. It's got to be models persist or streamer persistent models. Okay, so need these lowercase settings, but this thing probably re-exports that. Persist quasi. Okay. So oh, that's not okay. All right, cool. So that was like it's not a single thing. It's a list of things. I don't know what else needs to go in here. So apparently this seems to compile, which is like good. Uh, the question then becomes, wait, do I really need this? But that's not the right. That's not the right comment syntax. Okay. So how does it know? Okay. So if I get rid of this, then it starts to complain. Okay, good. I assume it doesn't need that either. And then does it really need this too? Okay, yeah, because that's where I get text from. And then, um, do we need this anymore? I don't think so. Do we need this anymore? Yes, we do. Okay, so I think we got these two things. And wait, why is this not complaining? Hello? Ah, okay, so GHC options. Have like this. And then we also want to add dash wall dash wearer. So the bottom ones are some performance things, and the top one is or not the bottom ones. The ones that are in that README are performance related. Then wall and wearer are like I want to basically not commit code that doesn't need to get committed. So here's an example in whoops my prelude where I apparently don't use this call stack function anymore. Okay, so let's clean these up, I guess, because we're here. Wrong search. Exception. App context. Okay, so we just need app m apparently. Don't need text apparently. We don't need PIO apparently. We don't need stood error. And 30. Oh, right. So we're logging this message. So I think we can also log the request. There's no reason not to log the request, so we'll just log the request. Okay, so the next question becomes like, can we use this model somewhere else? And then also we need to add the other migrations file. So the migrations file is probably temporary. Source database model.hs, or well, this will be like migrate.hs. And then this is this part here. So like in this particular case, we probably won't use make migrate long term, but short term we probably do want to use it because it'll make our lives easier. Like while we're iterating on the code itself, like it would be a lot cleaner if we didn't have to like mess with this. Okay, so we should just make like so we can read all the models from the persistent models directory, so we should do that, and then that way we can just like put them here. So for now, let's just get this to compile first. So this is going to be well, actually I have it. So paste it. Okay, and then we probably that grab these things, stick them here. Okay. So apparently this also needs to import database streamer for this to work, and then it does. So okay, so there's kind of like there's two steps here, is that we need to read all the persistent models, and then we'll also have to add the imports, but luckily the tool will keep track of that for us, so that's fine. Okay, so I want to read all the files from a directory, and I think I can do that with template Haskell. Read all files in a directory or list, I guess. I don't really need to read them. Just get directory contents. Yeah, but I don't want the ones there. Like I don't want to do it in IO. I want to do it in template Haskell. I mean, I guess I can do it in IO, but it would be better if it happened at compile time. How about if I look up directory, template Haskell directory? It says file embed. That's like kind of close. Okay, what if we did file path? Yeah, let's go Google. We want file path to queue of what? Um, List of file path? It's queue, right? Um, this thing doesn't seem to try this. Um, Library functions. Okay, how about template Haskell file path? File path th? Who wrote this? Actually, oh, sure. So I need like file path to queue. Okay, let's try that. Uh, File path to QX. Okay. Embed dir, embed a directory recursively. Embed a directory listing recursively. Embed a single file. What does this do? Okay. My dir is file path byte string. What's the byte string? I assume the byte string is the actual contents. So I think I need this. Embed dir listing. Oh, there's also stuff in path. Okay. Parse routes file. It's from Shakespeare. Okay, so I think what we really want is embed dir listing. I don't know if there's a better version of this. We can find it later, but I think this is probably what we want for now. Uh, this doesn't really go away, so um, it's kind of important that we find something that works well. But this is file embed. Oh, it's a Snoiman library, so I feel like I'm pretty confident that we can probably bring this in and not have to worry too much about it. Um, File. Okay, so we're gonna grab that, and then we're going to dir and reload. Actually, wait, we're going to make hpack, and then we're gonna close this. Here, that. And then now we can go into migrate and start working this part. Okay, so we're gonna have a bunch of persistent models, which is gonna be a list of file path, and those persistent models will get populated by the splice embed dir embed dir listing, embed dir listing, and then models like this, like that. Okay. So what's this complaint? Oh, right. We need this thing. Let's just get it from here. I'm trying to be better about not just doing a bunch of open imports, so let's do that. Okay, so we have a bunch of these persistent models, and then what is this thing? I actually don't know. So let's do make HCI, make REPL. Wow, okay. Um well, um I don't have REPL. This depends on HPAC, and then we're going to follow REPL, I guess, with probably not the GHC options, just like that, and then REPL. And then because I also wrote this, let's just do that those are just the same thing. HCI that. And then over here, we should be able to do, I don't know why I closed my editor. It's just like a horrible habit of mine. Okay, and then also because you can't see this, let me that. And then over here, looking at this, so we will import database, migrate, and then we'll run persistent models. Okay, so that thing gives me the the different files, but actually what I need to do is like fmap something onto them. So we're gonna say models, and then we're gonna fmap this whole thing onto the splice probably. Is this like allowed? Looks like it. So if we save that, reload, and then run this. Oh, interestingly, they're kind of strings. That's kind of surprising to me. I would have guessed that this uh, append operator would do like a file path, since these are file paths. But maybe there's something else going on here that I don't understand. Whoa, what did I just do? That was weird. I have no idea what I just did. Oh, okay. And then we do that, and then we have like models, persistent models, and then that way we can just stick those here and close our splice. GHC stage restriction. What? I don't know what that means. I've never heard this before. Okay. So, and oh, okay. So it can't be defined locally. So I think what that implies is we have to like embed this whole thing. Can you put a splice within a splice is the question. Let's find out. This gives you an exception. Okay. So we are going to need source database all models, and then we will just like move this over here, and instead we'll define all models model files file, and then we need this, we need these, and we need that. And then over here, we can now import database, all models, and then files, like that. So it kind of stinks that you have to separate these things, but like I kind of understand, because you like you're saying that you define on you rely on this at compile time, and you kind of need to like fill that in, and then you can use it here, because you're also like relying on this splice at compile time. So I think I can see why. Like, how would it know which splice to depend on first? Well, you have to do it in order. So it should like you by importing template Haskell into a Haskell file, you change the way ordering works. So like any function inside a template Haskell file evaluates from top to bottom. So like where you define things matter. Whereas in a normal Haskell file, where you define things don't matter. So if I have this above this splice, it would seem to me like it would evaluate top to bottom, and then that would be okay. But maybe that is not how I should think about it, and I should think about it differently. But that's okay. Like it tells you what to do. Like it literally tells you um it can't be defined locally. So the compiler kind of like helps you here at least. So I don't feel too bad about this. Okay, we can be like super explicit there because it's easy. And then we can use this migrate all functionality to like just let's put a like a top level comment here. What is it? It's like, I forget what the syntax is. It might be, yeah. Okay. Um so to do or note, this is temporary while we are on the vacation. What? You should probably use a migration framework to do migrations. Okay, something like that. We can actually, let's make this a to do. And then say like eventually we'll choose and set up a migration framework. So I don't know which one we should use. I'm still like not very good at that part. Like the one we use at work is just Ruby's because it's like pretty easy to use. But I don't know if that's like a good idea. Um, it's working for us. Like we've been using it for a long time, but that doesn't really mean that it's good. Um, okay, so that should give us all of our models and our migrations. And so then we can like, what's going on here? Um, That's fine. Like we don't want to shadow anything here. Okay. So another thing that is actually really annoying is that it doesn't like tell you that the app is starting up. Um, so I would really like that to happen. Um, what does this thing look like? Uh, it's like env dot app configuration dot something. What is what's a configuration? Postgres connect info Postgres port. Okay, so Postgres connect info Postgres port like that. Talking about. I disagree. I don't think this is actually a problem. I turn this on globally. Well, I can understand why log message is failing. Oh, maybe it's not called Postgres port. It takes a connect info. And what's a connect info? It's a connect port. Connect port. Like this. Oh, this is unhappy too. What is it? Um, so we have a configuration. Here's our configuration. It's a new type. It has Postgres connect info. Configuration, Postgres connect info, and a connect info. Is this? It comes from Postgres. The PostgreSQL simple connected. Okay. Um, Google default connect info. Connect port. Why does it? Okay, whatever. Um, oh, I probably just need to include this, and then that will have the has classes. Is that why this is stupid? Dot connect port, and then L show. Okay, here we go. Easy Pete's. Okay, next. Um, we basically need this thing again because I think what we want is like a I think we want like a login IO function or something. Login IO because it's getting a little annoying. And then, but this whole thing can just be, well, it can't be app.m, otherwise that's like problematic. What we need to do is wrap that thing in app.m and then do it. Um, so what if we just did like let yeah, we're gonna deal with you in a second. And then we do like run reader t run app m n. Yeah. So this becomes like logIO. And what is this thing? So it's just like an app m. Okay, it's an applicative katip m. Okay. So we're going to say logIO takes an app m, sorry, applicative katip m unit to io. This thing also needs, it might as well just be the whole thing, right? It might as well be the whole app context just to save me some time. And then that way I can say, um, so then I just grab the app and then run reader t run app m log app or env. One view. Hello. I don't know if you're even still here. Um, what is this thing? That's what I thought. So what if we just say, what if we go back to that? Applicative ktip, and then we'll say app2, and then we have the app and the log. Oh, maybe I don't even need this. What was the type of that? munit. So why is that? What's wrong with this? So this type is now app m unit. And then here we can do run app. Let's do. The biggest problem with this is just that, like, this is too wide. So I do think we want to try to remove this if we can. So can we make this katip m applicative like this? Or really just katip m if possible. And then what if we just say like um what if we do something wild like, is that allowed? Do we even need coerce? But that doesn't work. So what are the types here? What is this? It thinks it's just, yeah, it doesn't think it's an app m, which is the problem. Um and if we do like this, there's like no way for it to understand what that is. So what if instead we try this? Could we also say that this is app m unit? Can we lift it? Isn't there something about maybe we can do that? Um how does this work? I don't really understand how this works, if I'm honest. We have this K-tip action, which is this. And then, oh, it's because we're, I get it. So this do notation is in app m. Wait, no, it's not. It's got to be an IO, right? So what the heck? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to make this app M though. This works, but it's like that's certainly not what we want. Like I don't want this thing to be able to do just anything, which is why I feel like you need to do like your katip. How do you make this work? Would it match type M? I think I need lift here. Oops. Ah, right. Okay. Let's put this into. Do I have like log? I think I have my prelude, which isn't a bad place for this. Oops. Okay. So I can't put this here. So why do you compile? There we go. Okay. So it's not a lift. But what needs to go here? It's like a natural transformation from katip M, applicative M, to app M. And app M is just this. So how do you do that? Why am I not able to do this? I need to build a reader T. And reader T takes like but then this thing is like still broken. Um why am I blanking on how to do this? Well, unfortunately, it's time to go to work. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. It seems like I should be able to write this function though. Because, well, this m is approximately an app m. Well, no, it's not, right? Because I have, yeah, I see how this is tricky. Um, it's not really an app m because katip, it's not katip m, it's katip app m. So it's like I can't. Okay, what's the app context? So if we just do these two things, what if we do that? Okay, real quick. Let's try instead of these two things, we'll just let this happen, right? And then that thing will give us this m, which is approximately equivalent to an app m. But it's like kind of not. Oh, yeah, so I think the only way you can do this is like you can't take the whole log message. You need this thing. Wherever it went. So I think that you need a logIO function that takes all the stuff and then creates the thing. So I think you could have what is the type of this thing? We really don't need long names here. Log string, and then here it can just be run dir t. It also needs yeah. So you need to make it like super specific. Or it's not going to work. But this is fine, I guess. At least it's not this code. Because this code is kind of lame. You could do this and then hello s. Oops, didn't want to do That's not so bad. It's similar to the other code, but you need to pass it in an env. So you should pass that first. And then I guess you could probably store this somewhere, but you don't need it anywhere but inside the main function or inside like external uh app app and friends. I don't need that. Okay, and then let's just just make sure this thing still runs and doesn't have any unused imports or anything. Yeah, there you go. And then you can see like application starting on port 5432, which is a little easier to see. So I wanted to do that. But I also wanted it to be like a log message because use katip logger IO. Cool. Done here. Format. Okay. And so we added. Wait, why do I need connect info? Oh, right, for the .connect port. Okay. We added some persistent related stuff. Okay, so add persist model, add commit basic persist model with migration. And then we also added logIO. I think those are the two things that we did. Okay, cool. Thanks for hanging out. Looks like people watched for a total of 1 minute and 30 seconds. Appreciate it. I'll see y'all later.